welcome back to the shed. I'm after a little bit of advice. At 40 years old, I've decided that I want to buy an enduro bike, a road legal enduro bike, so that I can tackle some green lanes around here in mid Wales and explore some territory that my
Bad day, huh?
blade is never gonna see, and also during lockdown, I'll be harder to find. So as a joke, by the way, before you start complaining. Saying that though, the track that I took yesterday in the pouring rain, just to get my tyres changed on the Fireblade, to drop it off with a friend of mine, and the track I took the Fireblade on in the rain was really less road and more mud. I'm very surprised actually that I made it up that lane without ditching the bike. So basically the bikes that I've been looking at, they're Hondas, although I'm completely open to the possibility of buying other brands. So any of you seasoned green laners or enduro riders, motocross riders, if you've got any advice, please comment. It's just that these two bikes jumped out at me for various reasons. So if you can recommend something other than the two bikes that I'm going to just discuss now, then feel free. Comment on the video. You know, I'm after your experience and your opinions. I've not done a lot of motocross riding, and I've not got masses of experience. Obviously everybody's got their own opinions, I've got mine, but the two bikes I've been looking at are around the 2010 CRF 250X and the 450X. I mean, looking at them, the dimensions between the two are pretty close, to be fair. They've got slightly different rake and trail dimensions that presumably give them similar steering and handling characteristics, I don't know. The weight difference between the two bikes looks marginal. The 450 weighs about 105 point something kilograms. The 250 weighs about 102 kilograms. Reviews say that the 450R feels more stable in the rough stuff, whether it's under sort of hard braking or on the bumps or on the throttle. It looks to be actually quite controllable from what I've read. I mean, despite the numbers put in the 250 at only 3 kilograms lighter, the reviews say that it's actually much more agile and flickable. Which would, I assume, make it less physical, muscling through some of the Welsh green lanes that I intend to use it for. What I didn't like the sound of was the reviews said there was a slightly skittish feel on the front end of the 250 through the bumps. Can't be to do with maybe it being a little bit lighter, I'm not sure. But the real difference between the two bikes that I've been looking at is obviously the power. Reading between the lines, the 250, obviously it's got like a broader rev range, which puts out sort of solid response all the way through the throttle pull. Although I imagine, even though it possesses like sort of healthy low-end torque, it probably likes to rev, which would make it much more of an active riding experience, and obviously require more shifting to keep it in the sweet zone. I don't know. This is what I've put the video up for. You know, feel free to comment away. I've not ridden these two bikes. I don't know the differences between the two, but these seem to be the two bikes that I'm favouring. I'm swaying more towards the 450 in the power department. as I imagine, it's a bit more, well, a lot more of a stunt puller, which I would have thought means it's very forgiving, you know, allowing you to sort of leave it in second or third all day long, throwing it around the lanes. But I don't know. I mean, you know, I suppose the downside to that additional power with the 450 sort of, well, I presume it'll mean that it'll knacker me out more quickly anyway. I'm not the heaviest, I'm about 12.5 stone, so I presume it'll knacker me out more quickly having to hang on. I'd assume hanging on to it will sort of require some tidy arm strength and stamina if you're riding it all day and really giving it some and going for it. I don't know. So, you know, that's why I'm looking at both of them. I've read that, you know, if you blip the throttle on the blip the throttle hard on the 450, it'll do a really good job of tugging your arms from their sockets. So yeah, I would have thought that the 250 is much less intimidating engine, which it probably still hauls ass, but you know, perhaps because I'm coming into it now a little bit later, it'll probably help to build confidence a bit more along the lanes, and you know, while I'm off and about, and make it a better choice. But yeah, it'd be a good mount for some simple green laning, I would have thought, the 250. It's hard, there's so much between them, even though there's that just difference in the weight, but there seems to be sort of both motorcycles will accommodate like either a serious go fast approach to riding and competition, as well as both being perfectly suited as play motorcycles just for messing around in the dirt, like me. You know, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, especially at 40 years old. I've had various bikes, lots of different bikes, but certainly not many enduro off-road bikes. But the CRF seem to be pretty bulletproof, so I'm sure experienced riders as well as novices will find things to like about both bikes. You know, and that's really the purpose for this short video. I'm after your advice and your comments and your thoughts, as I'm sure there are some seasoned pros out there who have a vast knowledge of this sort of riding. So, you know, feel free to comment, drop me some hints, drop me some tips, things to look out for, seals and all sorts of stuff I'm sure to be looking out for at that age. I've had some advice off a friend of mine already who's a KTM instructor, so it's really a matter of being honest with myself, I think, and you know, asking myself, what do I want, what do I need, and really that is just some green laning around here in mid Wales, you know, some back roads as well, a bit on the road here and there, and just getting generally lost around this beautiful countryside. And you know, when the Fireblade, which isn't here because it's having its tyres done, when the Fireblade can't come out to play, this bike will. And as I said, you know, I imagine the 450 will be more of a workout, requiring more stamina to hang on to those bars. And you know, I've read it's also, you know, got a tendency to be to sort of bite a tired rider as well. If you grow tired, it's got the beans to bite you when you don't expect it. The 250 reads a lot like it's more fun, less intimidating, and perhaps probably the advantage of drinking a lot less fuel might actually sway it for me. So you know, there's loads to think about. But yeah, on that note, it's over to you guys. The more comments, the better. Give me plenty of reading to do. I'm not limited to Honda by any means. It's just, as I said, these two bikes jumped out at me as an obvious choice. Reasonably priced as well is the other thing. I'm not going to go mad. This is just something to jump on when it comes to sort of, you know, the Fireblade being tucked away or just for the odd weekend with the boys. Reasonably priced. I'm looking around the year 2010-ish. You know, I'm not limited to that year, but I don't want to be spending a fortune. You know, I think around the 2,500 mark in terms of £2,500, somewhere around there. But you know, I could be swayed to spend a little bit more, but it depends. You know, KTM, Husqvarna, but they start to go up in the old poundage and hit your wallet a bit harder. So look, thanks for watching my videos. It really is much appreciated. A subscribe would be even more appreciated. It only takes a second, but it actually means so much for the channel, for you to hit that subscribe button. So with that in mind, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you soon. And again, thanks for watching ShedTorque.